Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with Pulse of the Ring, and today I have a special guest. This man has held titles in WXW, ARW, they've changed the name so many times,
Yes.
IWF, and IWA. He's held tag team championships, next level championships, hardcore championships, and heavyweight championships. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Cure. It is Vertigo. How are you today?
Pretty good. Thank you for having me. And it's a pleasure for me to be with you here in the show.
Yeah, me and Vertigo used to wrestle together when I lived in Florida. Fun times. We always had good matches together. I love your background and everything that's in it. It's I'm trying to get my eventually I'm gonna get my whole background to look like yours. But I like to ask everybody, how did you get into professional wrestling? Can you hear me?
Okay. I started in 1999. I'm already 27 years in this business.
Ooh,
And I grew up a wrestling fan all my life,
mhm.
but I never saw me as a wrestler. Before wrestling, when I say this, a lot of people say, wow, I was a dancer, acting, and modeling.
Okay, I didn't know that about you.
That's what I did for a living. I even did a used to dance. Yeah, I used to dance with different singers in PR uh, from age of 16 to 20. And when I graduated high school, I went to college. My uncle, he was a wrestler, but he was a wrestler for Carlos Colón, and he wrestled in South America, different companies,
Hmm.
and they were tryouts for the actual wrestling team in college. So I was talking to him. I said, I'm gonna try out. I just need some extra credits. I'm doing something different in college. And he started making fun of me. I said, you're a dancer. You will never make it. You just said, uh, this is a question first. This is rated R or PG? Because I have,
Oh, it's rated
because
R.
he's
Talk how you need to.
okay. I said, you're a pussy. You will never make it. Sorry. It's like, uh, why you would say something like that to me? He goes like, okay, I'm gonna make a bet with you. I'm gonna take you to an actual wrestling school, pro wrestling school. If you pass the whole week, I pay the whole tuition just for you to have some different experience to see maybe you have that speed, you might make the tryout in college.
Hmm.
So okay, let's try it. He took me next week. He took me to the school. Right away, I fell in love with the whole thing. It was very old school. It was brutal. They
Oh,
beat the shit out of me. But after that, I really had 2 more years dancing, finished some contracts that I have, and then
mhm.
focus on my life in wrestling. And then obviously in the between that, I signed on with the army, all the situations, but it was my life went all the way to wrestling, and I left everything that I used to do.
So, being from Puerto Rico, did you go to the Cologne shows, like the shows that they had? I guess produced by Carlos Cologne.
Yes, yes. Actually, my first show was 1986. I was 5 years old, and I saw live Bruce Brody versus Carlos Colon. It was the Wild Samoan. That's a funny story. End up being very close to them.
Hmm.
The Wild Samoan versus the Bushwalkers, and it was I think Atula versus Chicky Star. It was a mega card that day. My dad took me that day. It was the first time to a live pro wrestling show.
Man, I I don't even remember my first wrestling show. I don't even remember how I actually fell in love with wrestling. Like my first memory of it was when Shawn Michaels super kicked Bret Hart when he was in a wheelchair. But besides
Oh,
that,
heel Bret Hart.
yes. But at the time, I
Yes,
didn't know he was a heel. I just saw one man super kick another man. I was like,
yes.
I don't know what this is, but I like it.
Yeah. I remember that show because I was so scared. Because my grand all my family are wrestling fans. I used to sit with my grandfather watching wrestling like Carlos Colón company
Hmm.
every weekend. Like every Saturday morning they sat down with me and I watch it. But my dad took me like I was 5 years old. I see those big men like, and it was old school, so they were more heated. There were more people
Yeah.
yelling at each other, throwing stuff. I was scared. I was like, "What is this?" But then I wanted to go all the time.
See, hmm. I tell people the first time I decided I really wanted to become a professional wrestler was when I saw Undertaker throw Mankind off the Hell in a Cell. And like after wrestling, it's like that is the stupidest spot that ever made me want to become a professional wrestler.
Yeah, yeah, yes, that's a really weird choice of. Yeah, I saw that man falling 30 feet to the floor. I want to do the same.
Dude, it's so cool. You think that he died, and then Mankind just got up and went through the cage, and then after now we know everything that he went through. Like just
Yes,
his lip go through, or his tooth go through his lip and end up in his nose. It uh,
I get it. It's you see it. It's impressive and terrifying at the same time, but it give you that hope. Like that man go all the way down there. I
mhm,
got up and keep fighting. It's inspirational at the same time.
yeah. So you trained with the Wild Samoans, Offense and Sika at WXW. What is some of the best advice they gave you wrestling wise?
Well, well, when I started, my first like heavy training was in Puerto Rico
Mhm.
with Sabio Vega and Shane Sewell. But when I moved to the States, obviously I went to different places, but I ended up with the Wild Samoan. And their advice, it was they as soon as I got there, we connect. We have a pretty good connection. It was very like connection like father and son. Uh, so they were very personal with everything. And they because we islanders, we kind of the same style, the way we move and work. So they always told me keep doing what you're doing. Don't let anyone put put them down to their level. Keep you grab them and put them to your level and make them look better than what they think they are.
Yeah.
That was like most of the time they were always focused on me on try to help and develop other talent. That's why I like being more focused now in what I doing that.
Like I've seen so many people who've trained at WXW at certain like not even like indie events, but like you have Chico Adams who you see him almost every week at a WWE, TNA,
It's
AEW, like extra
my
word.
favorite Doctor Chico Adam.
Yes. On my other podcast that we do, we're huge fans of Chico. So every time we see him, it's like, oh, Chico alert, Chico alert. Like,
Yeah, I love Chico. He can tell you that, and every time I see him, I'd say he's my favorite wrestler. He's such a great human being that you
mhm,
just need to love it.
yes. And it's crazy because he plays like a really shitty heel where you
Yes,
want to punch him in the face. But it's like outside of it, he's one of the greatest people in the world, working with Make a Wish, training with Natty and them in the dungeon.
yeah,
It's I want him to get signed. It,
me too. Everything is coming from him. He earned it. He deserved everything in this business, and I want to see him in another level.
yes. So your name is Vertigo. How did you come up with the Vertigo?
It's actually a nickname that I have since I was like 12 years old.
Okay.
Uh, my mom and my dad are my dad was a cop and my mom was a nurse. So every time I get out of school, they were not, most of the time they were working. My older brother worked in an arcade, so I used to walk from school to the arcade for wait to wait for them to get out of work so they can pick me up. There was this arcade. It was called Primal Fear.
Hmm.
It was like Mortal Kombat with dinosaurs.
Yes, I do remember that 'cause I used to love playing that.
So there was a character called Vertigo. I will always use the same character.
Hmm.
So I was always playing the same arcade the machine. I was good at it. So every time I go there, I walk in, there were kids playing. I put my quarter to went in line, and they always start, oh, here comes Vertigo. Here comes Vertigo. So it's stuck, and everybody started calling me Vertigo. So I use it for my gimmick.
That's what's up. Because I know when it was time for me to come up with a name, it was pretty difficult because at first I
You
went by
got it now.
AF Bernie, and I did that because I was in the Air Force and my last name was Bernard. But after the first show, I think it was at birthday, I was like, AF Bernie just it's just weird. So then I just started going back through the well.
Yeah, it doesn't have that. I don't know. I get you. It doesn't have that thing that connect.
Yeah. So that's when I was like,
So I like City Brown.
my name is CT, and I was like, I don't want to do CT Bernard because I don't want people knowing like too much about me. And I was like, and then everybody in training is like, oh, you look like D'Lo Brown. Oh, you look like Bad News Brown. I was like, well, I mean, the common denominator is Brown. So, and D'Lo Brown is was one of my favorite wrestlers growing up, and it's all because of the head shake. And then I started looking into Bad News Brown. I was like, yeah, that's my uncle too. So I came up with CT Brown, and it stuck. And
Right? I see it. I see it.
I just, um, so now that you live in the states, how is the wrestling different from the states than it is in Puerto Rico?
Well, yes, but it's more in the fans are different. Wrestling is the same everywhere, but fans are different. I wrestle over 12 states. I go to wrestle. Plus, I wrestle in DR
Hmm.
and PR. And PR and DR are more violent. They're more like fighting style, hardcore, heavy stuff.
Hmm.
Where here in the States, they have variety, depends the company. That they go to whatever they like, the company they will focus on like lucha or technical wrestling or like hardcore death matches.
Hmm.
So it depends. The fans is what make the difference in between PR and the states. It's not really the wrestling. Wrestling is international. It's the same language. It's like music.
Yeah.
Music is the same language no matter what you speak.
I one thing people would always say is that in Puerto Rico they might throw batteries at you, and I was like,
Okay, that's true, and but it was more back in the 80s and early 90s. Now the fans understand more and mellow out. They might they're very loud, they scream a lot, and then if you actually mess with one of them, they might try to fight you. But the same things here, but
yeah,
that it. Not in these days. Very difficult to find situations like that. But I seen stuff back when I started. I saw riots. I saw fans coming out, burning other wrestlers' cars, try to kill them. Because the fans were very hardcore, very heated up. They they didn't understood wrestling. They saw it in a different way,
mhm.
and it was a very old school heat when you were a heel. So Yeah, but now their mentality is more advanced to the business. They understand, and
Yeah,
they just go for it to enjoy the show.
I think when WWE went to Puerto Rico for Backlash, I like I really wanted to go, but just seeing it at home, and yeah, probably because Bad Bunny was there, but that crowd was insane. And online, everybody's like, they got to go back to Puerto Rico. They need to go back to Puerto Rico. And yes, they need to go back for a live show in Puerto Rico. And seeing their crowd just made us here in the States be like, yo, we're so boring. Like we we get to see them more than everybody else, so we don't like react the way that they do because they were reacting to everything and like having so much fun and that I envy like the Puerto Rican fans and the fact that they can
Yeah,
have.
because they go now more to
Would you say? Sorry, cut you off.
it's not that they just uh don't have that type of show all the time. It's also they go more to enjoy the show instead of go and see what's happened and then go in the media and criticize.
Okay.
They understand if I pay for tickets, I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm just not
Mhm.
gonna go to get my phone and then go in media and talk. I don't like this. Why you pay for a ticket then?
Yeah.
That's why they, because if you go to other shows in PR, not just WWE, when they're big shows, they're the same loudness, no
Okay.
matter who's in there.
So when it comes to you, what is more difficult about wrestling? The physical part or the mental part?
The mental part, the physical part, you endure it. You that's why we train, we practice, we get used to it day by day. It's more the mental part. Uh, some people don't get to understand most of the time why I have to do this, why people don't get me, why they don't buy me, uh, they don't adapt to the business. So sometimes it's very hard, like mentally, for a lot of people that try to get in and make it. So I think the mental part is more like it's hard. You get used to work with other people, work with the crowd, and work to different companies and know how to talk and understand and be composed in the back and be someone else outside when you go with the fans ordering.
Hmm. For me, I also think it's the mental. Like you said, we train all the time, and yes, everybody has their bump card, but when you see people that started after you and you're like, oh, why can't I get there? Why are they getting this position? There's a lot of envy, and that can mess up your like your focus on wrestling, and then also the traveling. Like you said before we started, you work 5 days a week, and then a lot of wrestlers they do work that 5 days a week, and then on the weekends they're driving to this place, that place, that place, and got to be back by Monday morning to get to work, and that can take a heavy toll on you, depending on like if you have to drive, if you're the only one driving, if you can catch a flight, where are you going to sleep? How are you going to be eating healthy? Will you be able to hit the gym like you're supposed to? And it's it's something that I know it was difficult on me because yeah, I could a lot of the physical stuff I could do, but trying to keep myself sane and focused was extremely hard. How do you keep yourself like mentally tough when it comes to this business?
But I already been doing this, like I said early. I started 1999, training 1999. My first actual match was in the 2000. And obviously, in the beginning, it was like very difficult for me to adapt because it was a totally different world. I was coming for a world that was dancing, acting. Yeah, I was used to work with crowd, being a stage, but it was the politics and how to behave yourself in the locker room. And you were more old school. You got veterans on top of you, yelling at you all the time, make sure everything is done right. So the mental part was difficult, but slowly I just adapt and
You froze a little bit. All right.
okay. My understanding and learning how to control myself in the business actually came to my brain after I came from my military basic training.
Hmm.
I learned how to endure that pressure, uh, that I learned how literally like infantry assess, adapt, and overcome everywhere I go, any locker room, any place. I just met the promoters, met the talent, see how is the people there, assess how I'm supposed to keep myself and overcome every obstacle that you see around. And then, because the in ring part is the easy part,
Hmm.
so it's more learning how to move yourself through different companies and politics, because every company is different.
Hmm.
So that was like I actually learned. I used that training, uh, mental power that teach you when you're in the army to move around wrestling.
Yeah, I was me being in the Air Force. I feel like it helped, but like I said, there was a lot going on during that time. Um, just politicking that was going on. Certain trainers at schools, like being in Florida in general, it was difficult just because all the promotions were they disliked each other. There were always something going on with the drama between them. And if you go work for this person, you're not allowed to go work here, this, that, and the third. And it was just a giant headache to work sometimes.
Yes, and it's still the same. It's not that it changed, but at least for me, because now I got more experience through in the Florida area and people know a little more about me.
Mm-hmm.
That drama doesn't follow me a lot. It's more like I earn the respect of like the promoters and the people around.
Mm-hmm.
They're not like anywhere yo, so I don't work with the guy, don't do this, don't do that. It's backwards. They go to me, hey, should I work with this person? Should I do this? Right. But it's up to them.
Yeah.
It's it's at any the talent discretion what they do in their career. I just give them advice. Say whatever you do is you.
So, what? Who was the first person to truly believe in you as a wrestler?
First person that truly believe me as a wrestler, I train in PR first with a small company called VSP. It was it's owned by a man called Narciso Sanchez, and his head trainer was a guy called Pedro, aka Killerman. They gave me my first steps, but then they took me to a small show, and Savio Vega saw me in that show, and he invited me to his school because he saw something on me, and he helped me develop. Uh, and learn more about the business. Then he took me to IWA to do jobs, but the actual first person that saw me working
Hmm.
for him and gave me a chance to mm, do a little more, come up with everything I do in the ring by myself, help putting finishes, what Luke Williams for the Bushwalkers.
Okay. And how do you balance professional wrestling with the family and then like working and anything else that you want to do?
Well, uh, in the beginning, it was kind of hard because right now this is my third marriage. I got divorced twice.
Hmm.
The first one was the difficult situation in between army and life. It wasn't even with wrestling. My second wife knew me in wrestling. She was a fan. She used to run shows.
Hmm.
But then when we were together, she did the question that was never supposed to ask to a wrestler. You gotta choose in between me or wrestling.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you made me as a wrestler. I'm gonna stay as a wrestler, and we split.
Hmm.
Now, in between family and wrestling, it's easy. My wife grew up in wrestling. She understands everything that happened in wrestling. It's very easy for me. She even helped me to get bookings when I'm not able to like contact. She goes to me and then help me with the contacts and stuff like that when I'm doing all the stuff. So right now, it's easier part. In the beginning, it was kind of difficult because uh, your family don't understand. Even when I started training, my dad still didn't want me to train wrestling,
Hmm.
but I fell in love with it, so I wasn't gonna stop. So I used to have a car that my dad bought me. I used to go to college, come back home, and then he took the keys from the car for me not be able to go to train, and I used to walk
Man.
5 miles to go training and 5 miles to come back until he like realized that he's not gonna stop. Take
Hmm.
the keys. I'd rather you be safe. But for 3 months, I was literally every day walking 10 miles to go just go training.
And when it comes to training, like you do help train and run a school, right?
Yes.
So what is the advice that you give your trainees?
My trainees and anyone that's wanted to become a wrestler, my my first advice always is have a plan A. Keep wrestling as a plan B. I know that's your dream, but you never know what's gonna happen. Accident happen, you can end up injured, something I don't know where it can go, you can get sick. And if you don't have a plan A, you didn't study, you don't have something to fall into it, uh, your life is gonna be very difficult after that situation. So I always make sure they have like a job. They make sure they don't lose the job, or if they're studying, focus on school. Make sure you keep studying and finish your what you're doing, and then you focus on wrestling. When you already have that plan A in movement that is working, then you focus on wrestling, and if your life is to focus on wrestling, go for it. And I push them as much as possible, and I help them as much as possible.
And what is your advice for people who are trying to get booked like on different shows? How do you tell them to go at it?
This is now the is the era of social media. Create as a media environment. Create a media present. Everything you do wrestling related, post it, promote it, create a good resume with your training and the experience that you have, and send it to promoter. Send it to promoter. And if you're not booked that weekend, and you find a show that you think want to go, you'll be a part of it. Show up, show up, present yourself, talk to the promoters, try to help, show them that you're available and that you're willing to work. But if you don't show, you don't try to get seen, they don't know who you are. You're not gonna get booked. You gotta show up. Go to shows, present yourself, send your information every time, even if they don't see it once, the second time, third time, fourth time, until you at least got an answer, a yes or no.
Hmm.
But you make sure they saw it and they know who you are.
And who are some of your trainees that we should be looking out for, like in the next few years?
I got a couple young trainees, but I uh really have this boy. I'm very sure you know him for House of Space, Jay.
Hmm.
He's amazing. He's pushing boundaries everywhere he goes. He's doing great matches. He's being seen, and he's one of the kids that every time I give classes Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Every time I show up there, he's the first one and he's the last one to leave. And then I got also Ref Rodney. He's a ref and he don't have to be there all the time, but he show up every day early and one of the last to leave. I have a couple. Uh, I'm helping some new kids. They already have training and just trying to fix any stuff, tweak some stuff to help them, like Wilson Dyer, JC Black, uh, Ironside. I got a couple good kids that eh, with couple years experience, they will get somewhere.
Okay. I'm actually interviewing Jay, I think around 7:15 ish. We got on the book, so definitely gonna bring up some conversations with him. Um, what is your favorite match that you've ever been in?
I've been in a bunch of matches, but last year I had the chance to run with Loki for like 6 months straight, different states, like everywhere we go. And every single match that I had with that man, it was from good to better and better because the more we work, the easier it was easy for us.
Hmm.
And the more easier we get the crowd to it. So we have that. I really, when you got someone that you work and you had that chemistry
Yep.
that you just show up and you know what you're doing.
Hmm.
So that was that chemistry I had with Loki, and it was something different. Now he's doing some stuff, moving around, but we're still in contact all the time. And we this year we have some stuff coming together again.
Nice. Yeah, the same way. Like when it talks about chemistry, I think I had really good chemistry with Chico and Jay Sky. Those are the two people who, no matter what, it's like, oh, I know everything that you're going to do. We can put them in different orders, but it's always going to come out to like just being a really good match. And I thoroughly enjoy it. I think I have more matches against Chico Adams than I do anybody else in my
Eh,
years of wrestling.
I think we are in the same boat because Chico Annan and I in WSW we have a program for like a whole year, and we used to run two times a month, and then after that we were on and off in between programs, but we always were connected somehow.
Yeah, Chico Adams, book him
Yep.
if you have.
Yeah.
So, on average, how many? Let me see what my thing is. How much time do you dedicate to like studying wrestling matches or studying shows or anything in that type of.
Oh, right now, I I work for Monday to Friday in a special needs kids school.
Mm,
But after uh, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I get out of work, come here, take a shower, change, go through the training, and I'm training 3 days a week, and then weekends I'm booked, and every time I have a chance, even when I'm driving, I have two different phones. I have my GPS, and my other phone is on matches, looking, seeing ideas, learning other stuff. Because in wrestling, you never stop learning. I've been 27 years doing this. I've been training people for a while already, and I still learning stuff, getting new ideas. Because wrestling always evolve and it's came with different stuff. So we gotta keep up to date the whole time. You can't stay in the past too much because you stay in the past, you get obsolete.
mhm. And uh, one last question, and it's not even going to be wrestling related. Did you watch the Bad Bunny performance on Sunday?
100%. I am one of the persons that I sat down all day in front of my TV. My football team wasn't there, but it was in their stadium. So at least the stadium was present. I'm a 49ers fan. And I sat down with my wife, and I was one of the person that as soon as that first beat hit up and saw the sugarcane fields, my eyes were teary because I grew up in Puerto Rico. My grandfathers worked the sugarcane fields, and I seen the struggle of the family coming through and how he present all that the unity in between races and show to the world that we can be one and be in peace
Mm,
together without any hate. It was just about unity and love and the presentation, how he show up the struggle that the people from my island passed to get where they are right now. Believe me, I was cheering like someone killed my family.
mm.
I was sobbing, watching every single part of it.
I was watching it as well. I know very little Spanish. I know he had said, "Hey, you got 4 months to learn Spanish." My fiance, she took full advantage of it and was because we were supposed to be going to Mexico for our honeymoon, but I people are like, "Oh, he wasn't speaking English." Like, you don't have to have somebody speak English to like just catch the vibe and just understand like the music. Just like, yo, just move your body and just have fun with it. I didn't know like now that I've rewatched it and some time has passed, there's people doing think pieces about his performance, how the Puerto Rican flag had the light blue.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's the original Puerto Rican flag. After the in the 1923, United States put the GATT law to Puerto Rico. Everyone that have the flag, talk about it, talk about liberty, sing any song related to Puerto Rico was go to jail or kill. And after 1954, the GATT law was abolished, and they gave us the flag back. That's why we always have the flag because we fought for it. It was that flag cost of blood. But the United States changed the color of the triangle to a darker color to resemble more the United States flag than the original flag. That's why it's the different colors.
mm. And then like just symbolism with the him on the pole for the electricity and finding out
Yes.
like there's so many times where people in Puerto Rico can go like months without electricity because of this, that, and the third. And I was like, there's just so much beautiful symbolism within his 15-minute performance, and I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yeah, he made sure that he engaged everything that is happening that we went through as happened, it still happened to the island to this day so people understand where we come from. We're
Hmm.
not just someone that speaks Spanish. We're like human like you, but you got your struggle, we have our own struggle too. We're all here to survive and live in peace.
So before I let you go, do you have any shows that are coming up, and plug your school so everybody can and
Yes, I have because I still using pen and paper. I work in a school, so I don't I don't forget stuff.
I got
Uh,
right here of questions. So
yes, I'm old school. If you wanna train with me or have some wrestling training or practice, we also do open ring. If you already have some training at the establishment, for more information, you just contact us at booking at the establishment that life, or this is our address. You can go to 296 Anchor Road, Suite 200, in Castle Brady, Florida. And if you can find them, you can contact me to book the cure at gmail.com, or go to my Facebook, Julio Vertigo Rivera, send me a DM, and I will gladly give you some information. This coming Saturday, I'll be at the establishment show. I'm not supposed to be there because apparently someone fired me and Ramos, but we're gonna make sure that we show our faces.
yeah,
Also coming uh, in March, I got some shows in Atlanta for Nessa Wrestling. It's your Mexican shows. You like Lucha Libre. Uh, will be there representing the tag team on life. Is the New Yorican De Ramos and me, Vertigo La Cura Rivera. And for other shows, just go to my Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. They're all the same, Vertigo Q13, and I will post every show we will there.
all right. Appreciate you being on the show, and I'm gonna let you get some. Wait, what's today? Wednesday. Ooh, almost time for you to go to training, isn't it?
Yes,
Oh, well, I'm gonna
I
let.
took this time. I told them that I was gonna be late. I got some guys that help, so they'll be there running training right now while I'm here doing this.
Well, I appreciate it, and I'll let you get to training.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to be with you, and have a great night, great life, and I'm always here for you, bro.
I appreciate it.